Nocturnal Animals is a movie I would classify as being pretty great. It's a movie that will be diverse for others and might be a little hard to swallow for the normal audience member, but it's fascinating and engaging to say the least. Because not only is it captivating, it's a strong metaphorical film that, let's just say, you're gonna have this movie in your thoughts for a while. It's directed by Tom Ford, who is a man most known for his fashion but underexposed in his films. With this being his second movie he has directed, as his first being A Single Man from 2009, so you can see a huge leap from between those two movies. I'm definitely gonna check it out because Tom Ford truly captivated me on how professionally well made this movie was. There's a lot to admire in this movie, particularly the story, the cinematography, the directing, but mostly the performances. Amy Adams was really good. There's a lot to be said for her performance here. Just the subtleties of her actions, costuming, even her eyes convinces you of how well in tune she was with this character. How quiet her character was and what you learn from her past gives the audience a real reaction toward her character that, let's just say, is something of a different and unique role for her and is a character not to be liked. It's a fascinating performance, but if I were to be 100% honest with myself, I actually preferred her performance in Arrival a little more. The difference between the two roles is that with Arrival, she was a lot more active and was a lot more engaging. Here, she appeared to be more of the reactor in the movie. But again, each film is different and she truly gives unique performances for both films. And it's great that she had two movies come out this year where she truly shined a lot more than her previous roles. And we also try to forget that she was ever in Batman v Superman, where she talked, gets pushed from buildings, trips, throws a spear, retrieves the spear, trips again. Have the writers try to make her relevant, but failing to do that part as well. Irrelevant, but at least she can take insults like a man.
You know, with balls like yours, you belong in here.
But there were two performances that really stuck out to me the most. That would be Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Shannon. Jake Gyllenhaal was outstanding, as always, but this truly was more of an emotional role for him that he truly committed to the fullest, as he does with most of his roles. But if I were to pick on who was my favorite in the whole movie, it would definitely be Michael Shannon as Bobby Ans. His performance was just great. His appearance just gives the movie a little more of a fun and entertaining edge. He gave this character a lot more life and levity and was honestly my favorite character - performance in the entire movie. The movie is a great visual and literal metaphor for revenge and serving justice. The book that Edward wrote and dedicated for Susan, not only is it about fictional revenge, but the end result is just a savage depiction of real revenge that you can just feel that burn this character has coming. The amount of salt this character has is enough to fill your popcorn. It has great visual cues as well as subtle commentary over the fabricated, stylish, and shallowness of the rich art group, and compares Susan's real world with Edward's written fake world, where it's grounded with reality, it's dirty, it's grimy, it's a far more dangerous and realistic world than her world, but also how both worlds are similar to the main characters in terms of the emotions and actions. Edward's story is far more engaging than Susan's real life, which at first I thought it was a flaw, but I gave it more of a thought and figured that it might have been more intended to be that way. It gives more of a strong demonstration of how radically different both worlds are, and yet in a way have the characters counteract each other. The flaws I have with the film is linked to a character - performance, and that would be Aaron Taylor Johnson as Ray. Now there are moments where he gives a demanding performance, signs of intimidation, and really did kind of freak me out in ways, but he mostly acts as a cartoon character rather than a serious villain. Like the whole time he was present, I was just actually waiting for a laugh track for every time he does something and have him leave with the Seinfeld theme.
Okay, I'm a Gemini. My favorite color's petal pink. I like long walks and kittens.
Some of the editing was weirdly questionable, Armie Hammer was disposable, and there were moments in the movie where Susan's real world gets kind of a little boring, but I felt it might have been intentional to again give contrasts between the two worlds. But I'm not gonna lie that there were actually two moments where it felt kind of dull. There's a jump scare in the movie and it was unintentionally hilarious. It just came out of nowhere. This is a movie that might be a little hard to swallow for some audiences, definitely proven with the film's opening that had my favorite reaction of a friend of mine who just leaned toward us and told us, as I'm reading this from my script, "I hate you guys so much. Y'all pick the weirdest movies to watch and like, I swear." It's definitely a different movie, and it's the kind of movie that has you think more and more. Like, I had like 6 rewrites of the script just to have a full justification of what I really thought about the movie. But let the movie sink in, and it's truly a fantastically bizarre, engaging, very well made take on a revenge story. I feel that I won't lose an ounce of sleep tonight by giving Nocturnal Animals an A-.